Single dad was denied entry to his own company. Minutes later, the staff were fired. The security gate slammed shut with a cold metallic click, stopping a tired single father just inches away from the company he had sacrificed everything to build. Employees watched from the lobby as the exhausted man, carrying nothing more than an old backpack and wearing faded clothes, was treated like an unwanted stranger. The receptionist laughed nervously, the security supervisor folded his arms, and the newly appointed operations manager proudly declared that people like him didn't belong inside the building. None of them realized the man standing outside wasn't a job applicant or a delivery driver. He was the founder whose name appeared on every legal document that had created the company years earlier. Within minutes, the truth would destroy careers and teach everyone inside the building a lesson they would never forget. Before we continue, if you believe kindness, respect, and second chances can change lives, please take a moment to like this video, comment where you're watching from, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Kindness Echoes. Your support helps us share more emotional stories that remind the world compassion still matters. 7 years earlier, Ethan Carter had started Viridian Technologies in a tiny rented garage with nothing but determination, sleepless nights, and the hope of giving his little daughter Lily a better future. After losing his wife to illness, Ethan became both father and mother to a cheerful 6-year-old girl who believed her dad could fix anything. While other founders attended glamorous networking events, Ethan spent evenings helping Lily with homework before returning to his laptop after she fell asleep. Every contract, every software update, and every investor presentation carried pieces of his sacrifice. When the company finally became successful, Ethan refused to chase luxury. Instead, he quietly stepped away from daily operations, allowing professional executives to run the business while he focused on raising Lily after years of missed family moments. The company grew faster than anyone imagined. New executives were hired, departments expanded, and the headquarters became a beautiful glass building that symbolized success. Most new employees had never met the humble founder. They knew only the polished executives who occupied the top floors. Ethan never cared about recognition. He believed the company should be known for its values rather than his face. That decision, though noble, slowly erased him from the memories of the organization he had built. One rainy Monday morning, Ethan decided to surprise the staff with an unannounced visit after months away. He wore simple jeans, an old brown jacket, and carried the same backpack he had owned since the company's earliest days. His car had broken down earlier that morning, leaving him looking far less impressive than the luxury vehicles arriving at the executive entrance. He smiled as he entered the lobby, remembering when the entire business had fit inside one small room. Instead of a warm welcome, he found suspicion. The receptionist barely looked up before assuming he was lost. The security supervisor blocked his path and demanded identification. Ethan politely explained that he owned the company and simply wished to meet the leadership team. His calm words only triggered laughter from nearby employees. The recently hired operations manager, eager to display authority, stepped forward with a confident smile and ordered security not to let random strangers wander through the building pretending to be important. People stopped to watch. Some quietly recorded the confrontation on their phones. Others whispered jokes about another man inventing stories to impress the receptionist. Ethan never raised his voice. Years of raising Lily alone had taught him patience. He understood that respect could never be demanded through anger. Yet behind his calm expression was disappointment. He wasn't hurt because they failed to recognize him. He was heartbroken because the company that once valued kindness now judged people entirely by appearances. As the manager proudly ordered security to escort Ethan off the property, a black sedan pulled into the executive parking area. Out stepped the chairwoman of the board, accompanied by several directors returning from an investor meeting. The moment she noticed Ethan standing outside the security gate, her face turned pale. She hurried across the lobby without acknowledging anyone else. Every conversation suddenly stopped. The chairwoman warmly greeted Ethan with deep respect, apologizing repeatedly before introducing him to every stunned employee as the founder, majority shareholder, and chairman of the company. The silence that followed felt heavier than thunder. The receptionist's smile disappeared. The security supervisor looked toward the floor. The operations manager's confidence vanished completely as he realized the consequences of his actions. The board immediately reviewed the security footage and interviewed witnesses. What disturbed them most wasn't that employees had failed to recognize the founder. It was the arrogance, mockery, and disrespect shown toward someone based entirely on appearance. Company policies clearly required every visitor to be treated with dignity, regardless of status. Instead, several employees had openly humiliated a peaceful guest before confirming his identity. Within the hour, the operations manager was dismissed for abusive leadership and encouraging disrespectful behavior. The receptionist and security supervisor also lost their positions after investigators confirmed repeated complaints about their treatment of visitors and junior employees. Their dismissal wasn't because they had embarrassed the founder. It was because they had forgotten the company's core values. Ethan insisted on that distinction. He refused to let anyone believe they were punished merely for failing to recognize him. They were held accountable because kindness should never depend on someone's title, clothing, or wealth. Rather than celebrating revenge, Ethan gathered the remaining employees in the main conference hall. He spoke not about power or authority but about humanity. He reminded everyone that the greatest companies are built not by brilliant technology alone but by ordinary people choosing compassion every single day. He explained that every customer, delivery driver, cleaner, intern, and stranger deserved the same respect given to executives because no one could truly know another person's story. Those words spread throughout Viridian Technologies. New training programs focused on empathy, humility, and respectful customer service. Employees began greeting every visitor warmly. Managers learned that leadership meant serving others rather than controlling them. The culture slowly transformed into the one Ethan had dreamed about years earlier while coding late into the night beside his sleeping daughter. That evening, Ethan arrived home carrying Lily's favorite ice cream instead of another business report. As father and daughter laughed together in their small kitchen, he realized the company's greatest success wasn't measured by profits or awards. It was measured by whether people inside its walls chose kindness when no one important seemed to be watching. If this story touched your heart and reminded you that every person deserves dignity, please like this video, share it with someone who needs this message, and subscribe to Kindness Echoes for more emotional stories that inspire hope. Special request: before you leave, comment below. Kindness costs nothing, but changes everything. Because in the end, people may forget your position, your money, or your success, but they will always remember how you made others feel. And sometimes, the greatest test of character isn't how you treat the CEO, it's how you treat the stranger standing quietly at the door.